Hello. Good evening. This is Dr. Kia Pruitt. It is Saturday, February the 4th, 2023, and the time is 7:39 p.m. Good evening. I just thought I would come on tonight to address some of the people in the comments section of my last video that said America is on a gold standard. So I know a lot of people are not familiar with America being a republic, and sometimes it's hard to make the distinction between the republic and the United States Incorporated. So, hi, I put up a video earlier today. I went live actually, and I talked about how America is on the gold standard. Now, I appreciate all the people, good evening, who to receive the information and who, asked, well, how can they find this out for themselves and what should they do? And I appreciate all of those, hi Portland, who are really loving and kind and respectful. But my issue tonight is, I guess what the reason I'm coming on is to address the naysayers, because a lot of people were really negative. And I'm so surprised that people are like angry that I said America is on the gold standard. Good evening. So, you see, there's a difference between the Republic and the United States Incorporated. America, the Republic, has always been a lawful government, a lawful country. America has always gone by the Constitution. Good morning, the Constitution for the United States, the Republic. America, the country, has always been on a gold standard. It is actually the United States Incorporated who has created their own unlawful government. They created their own constitution, the Constitution of the United States, and they have created the Federal Reserve banking system, which created unlawful money or paper money that's fraud or fraudulent. So when I say that the United States is on a gold standard, yes, I am talking about the Republic. Yes, I am talking about the Republic. However, people are introducing bills and resolutions to catch the states up to where the Republic already has been. So there are people in America who have and continue to trade with precious metals because they understand and understand that precious metals are legal tender. Now, I explicitly explained that when you put a tax on precious metals or bullion, or silver and gold, then essentially you are saying you are not acknowledging precious metals as money. But when you repeal the tax and remove the tax from precious metals, then you are acknowledging that precious metals are used or are can be lawfully used as legal tender or money. So thank you so much, BeachNut. I don't understand the confusion and why some people have been so nasty and rude and disrespectful in that live. I had to delete comments, and I had to really stay emotionally mature about how I handled people like, calling me a liar, saying I'm stupid, and I don't know what kind of degree do I have. It was really, really rude, because I'm thinking I'm bringing info. I spend hours going state by state to see which state actually repealed the taxes on precious metals, which state introduced House resolutions and House bill to repeal those taxes, and which states now are using money as lawful and legal tender. So when I tell you I am from Cleveland, Ohio, and there was a person there who bought a home, and he bought a home with gold. And because he bought the home with gold, people couldn't park around his space. Planes could not fly above his airspace. People couldn't drill on his land. Literally, he had more rights than most people who purchase homes because he bought it with gold. So there are people who really trade with silver and gold now because they operate in the private. They know that they are sovereign. Excuse me, I wasn't looking in the camera. They know that they are sovereign and they behave as such. They live as such. We have the power to do the same. We really can live like that. As a matter of fact, thank you so much, family. I love you all so much. Donald Trump was paid 32 ounces of gold on September the 15th, 2011 by Apmex, a bullion company, precious metals dealership, a company, for leasing space in one of his buildings. He was paid in gold, okay? He was able to be paid in gold because he knows that gold and silver are lawful money, legal tender according to the Constitution for the United States of the Republic of America, which explicitly states that the only thing you can use to pay a debt is silver and gold. That's it, according to the Constitution. Article 1, Section 10, I believe it is. And according to the Constitution, a dollar is defined as a fixed weight in silver. So if you use silver and or gold to pay for something, you are acknowledging that silver and gold are lawful money. So the Republic is on a gold standard. It always has been. It's people like you, like us, who bought into the Federal Reserve, forcing us to operate as slaves, forcing us to use fiat dollars. But all we have to do is say, I do not consent, and start trading with gold and silver because it's lawful money. And somebody came on my platform and they said, well, you try to exchange with gold or silver. You buy things with gold and silver. Tell us how that works out for you. I don't understand the negativity. I explicitly said that I have paid for good and services with silver. Yes, I really have. I have paid. They don't want to know what's coming with Nassar. I don't get it. I honestly don't get how people can be so, I don't know, mean and rude and negative, that when you try to be positive and encourage them, that they would come for you, like, and be so rude. I have literally paid for a service, family, with silver. I really have. I've paid somebody train me. I paid them with silver. When the people that did my hair, now them, I paid them with fiat dollars. But there was one woman the teacher who helped them work on my hair, I actually pulled her aside and paid her in silver and said, thank you for staying over to teach the students how to work with my grade of hair, how to do it, how to, put these locks in. I appreciate it. Here's silver. I am paying you in silver. And she was like, oh, really? I said, this is 1 troy ounce silver, 0.99 pure silver. Right now, the spot price is somewhere around $25, $26. I told her below $30, but silver and gold are money. It's precious metals. It will revalue. I use it as an opportunity to pass on wealth to her, to pay her, and to educate her. To let her know that, this is real money, and to teach her about how to stack gold and silver so she can pass on the wealth to her family. So Dr. Kia Pruitt pays, yes, some services with silver. Yes, I've done that. We've all been debt slaves to the to the system. Yes, we bought into calling ourselves citizens. We have bought into doing whatever they say and using the fiat dollar. But when I paid them in silver, when I tip people in silver, it raised their vibrations because they're like, I've never gotten a gift like this. Wow, thank you. I paid an attorney for teaching me certain things. I don't want to say too much because he could be watching, for teaching me certain things in silver. Okay. And I'm sure the amount of silver I gave him was probably like, going to be worth a lot when it revalues, but it was an opportunity for me to pay him for a service in real money. And he received it. He was gracious enough to receive it. He said, thank you. Oh, I love you too. I appreciate this. And he said, can you teach me a little bit more about silver? It was a teachable moment between two colleagues who love and respect and honor each other for just for being the people that we are. Me saying thank you for teaching me how to do this service so I can take this beautiful service out to the community and help people to do estate planning. Thank you. I appreciate that. This is my offering. I'm paying you in silver. It was a beautiful moment to teach and to also say thank you and to pay for the valuable service that he gave me. So it is us who bought into the Federal Reserve banking system using fiat dollars, and us who agreed to becoming citizens of the United States Incorporated. But people who understand and overstand that they're not citizens, they're not slaves, and they don't have to adhere to a fiat system. They've been trading with silver and gold, really. So I just wanted to tell you, I needed to say that because I've been trying to go on about my day. I thought I was doing a good service showing you all that 41 states, now it's 42 states have either introduced or passed introduce or pass legislation repealing the sales tax on silver and gold, because repealing the sales tax and removing the sales tax on bullion then makes bullion legal tender by the states. Doing that, which means that they're able to be used as money in your state. 42 states have introduced or passed legislations to do so, so that they can bring everybody up to where the Constitution already states that silver and gold are the only things that can be used as lawful money. So keep in mind, Duval. Hi, Derwin. I see you from Duval. I'm looking for something to eat, Derwin. I can't find anything. I'm at this wings place, knowing good and well they probably don't have vegan food that I can eat, but maybe I'm going to get a salad, but I'm looking for a place to eat. But I was so stressed because I could not believe, after all my hard work, looking over different bills, different resolutions, different articles, listening to videos, trying to find out for our soul family which states have introduced and or passed legislation to repeal taxes from precious metals. I thought everybody would be so happy, and most of you were, but the comments were so negative and hateful and mean that I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that. But again, when you repeal the state taxes from precious metals, then you are acknowledging precious metals as money in your state. Now, the Constitution has already determined that the dollar is defined as a fixed weight in gold, and that you may only use silver and gold to pay debt. We all know that because we've been studying the Constitution, and we know over here that we're sovereign and we're not citizens and or slaves. A citizen is a slave. What did you say? Al Sudani said just now from Nader's video that the dinar is the father. Wow, thank you for that. Thank you all for showing me love. I really appreciate that. It makes me feel so much better. Somebody says, don't worry, girl. We love you over here. Thank you. I mean, I was so hurt. It really just did something to me, because I was like, wow, I thought I was doing a good job. So over here, thank you so much, Beach Nut. Over here, like, a lot of the news that we bring forth is futuristic for most people, because it's a lot of things. It's a lot of information that has not been brought forward to the public, to the masses. So when I'm reporting stuff, like, I'm reporting what is actually happening behind the scenes that most people don't know. For example, in 2017, I said Donald Trump has been identified as a person to take down a deep state, and people thought I was crazy. They said I was a liar. They said some very disparaging things. They questioned my doctorate. And then now what, 6 years later, those same people are saying, "Oh my God, it looks like Donald Trump really is the president." But they won't say, "I'm sorry, Kia. I'm sorry I disrespected you. I'm sorry I called you names. I'm sorry that as a man I should have protected you, but I called you stupid. I called you racist. I said you were Uncle Tom. I said you must want to be grabbed out of a JJ. You old hateful Trump lover. You're not really black. We we don't claim you. You love white people, which I do. I love everybody. You just one of them Uncle Toms. We don't like you. I'm coming. I need to find out where you are. People have threatened my life. Like, people are so rude. These are people from all races, but specifically right now, I'm talking about men who classify themselves as black. Tried to say they were going to harm me and do certain things to me, and that I better not catch you in the street, because I bring forth news that liberates people, and I won't talk about racism. I won't say I hate people. I just won't do that. I love everybody. I desire for everybody to be free. So when I bring forth news, a lot of times it's stuff people haven't heard. When the shutdown was about to happen, I said they told us a long time ago that there's going to be a Black Swan event. They're going to close us in. There's going to be National Guard on the street. We're going to have a curfew. I said, get your stuff now. The article actually went viral, and it was published on Rumor Mills, and people started calling me all over the country, like, we're hearing in the churches that you said this is going to happen, blah blah blah. And then but other people were like making fun of me, laughing at me, especially on Twitter. Like, I had like a meltdown on Twitter. I couldn't believe, I didn't even know people knew my name. But then the shutdown happened, and the same people who made fun of me didn't have toilet paper, didn't have food, um, didn't have their necessities, and found themselves in a compromising position. But these are the same people who didn't listen to me, but instead listened to the mainstream media, didn't have food, didn't have money, didn't have toilet paper. And then when the mainstream media told them to go out and rally and fight because of George Floyd and Breonna Taylor, these are the same people who went out and marched in the streets and insulted police officers, threw sticks and stones at them, and got shot with rubber pellets by the National Guard, and got handcuffed because they could not obey the rules, because they were easily led by their emotions and chose to listen to mainstream media and chose to listen to people who don't care about them, rather than listening to people who bring them no toilet paper. Yikes. Yes. Real news, the truth. So all I'm saying, family, is sometimes I'll bring forth news that people don't know. And that's why I showed you articles. People were even like, how can I know you're telling the truth? Where can I find this out for myself? Look, I've done extensive research, and then I put the articles in the description section. You can know that it's true by doing your own due diligence. That's why the scripture says, study to show yourselves approved unto God. A workman, a person that works, you're worthy of your hire. You show that you're worthy and you're justified by doing your own due diligence and studying. So what was the truth that I brought? My truth is, first of all, the Republic is still on the gold standard. It hasn't gone anywhere. There's a difference between the United States of America Incorporated, the corporation, and the Republic, family. The Republic. Thank you, Melissa. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. The Republic, the lawful government, hasn't gone anywhere. It's operating at the same time and has been as the corporation. It has its own constitution. You said, don't waste my Sabbath. Thank you. The Constitution for the Republic of the United States. It is a gold standard. It has laws and rules on its own. The corporation was created by a group of bloodline families who usurped authority from the Republic and made people think that this wasn't a lawful government, that it wasn't still active, and that it didn't have its own constitution, and it didn't have its own monetary system. People that consented to it essentially were acting as citizens, and some people would call it slaves, to obey the United States Incorporated. It was, again, a group of bloodline families that usurped authority from the Republic and registered in Delaware as a nonprofit religious organization. It has its own constitution called the Constitution of the United States Corporation. Benevolent for the Republic, of nefarious, the corporation. It has its own monetary system, fiat system, printing money that's not backed by anything, printing greenbacks that's not backed by anything. That system is the system that many people agreed to, but they didn't have to if we utilized our power as sovereign beings, as being sovereign according to the Republic of the United States of America, having our own lawful constitution. You see, gold and silver, those are money. So you're welcome. So, but what happened is, it's expensive to start, but what happened is when they usurped authority and created their own system, their own monetary system based on nothing and backed by nothing, we bought into it. Our ignorance or not knowing, sense of not knowing, allowed us to do that. But you can utilize your power now, even by trading with gold and silver, tipping with gold and silver. That's how we usher in things more quickly. So again, a lot of states had agreed to follow what the United States Incorporated had done. And so they were all using, most of them using greenbacks as tender or as money, but it's not money. Okay. So this is why you have senators and Congress people who have had to, what you say? Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, Isabel. This is why you had senators and leaders to come forward and introduce bills like House Resolutions 5404. That's what Alexander Mooney did, the Republican representative from West Virginia. He introduced that bill in 2018. He didn't have to, but he did it to go through a certain process and procedure to awaken the people and to help us move along back towards the gold standard. Those people who don't know we're already on a gold standard. He did that in 2018 underneath 45. Then he came back on October the 7th, 2022, and introduced House Resolution 9157 to define the dollar as a fixed weight in gold. He didn't have to do all this. He did it because a lot of people are asleep. He did it to go through this process to wake up citizens. And it's okay. I appreciate him doing that. You have to go through certain processes and procedures that people are familiar with in order to correct things. Oh, thank you, Brian. He said, keep winning. You're born a winner. Okay. And I appreciate that. So what had happened was a lot of states and precious metals companies put a sales tax on precious metals, on silver and gold, because they did not acknowledge silver and gold as money. They should not have done that. It is against the law, which is why when the republic is fully restored, or when people wake up and acknowledge that the republic is our lawful government and Nasara is officially announced, they will stop taxing everything and only have one tax on big ticket items. Okay, precious metals are money. So when the states put taxes on it, they were acting against the Constitution for the United States. They were acting against our republic, family. So this is why states had to come back and introduce bills to fight against those taxes, fight against or to repeal state taxes on precious metals. I'll say it again. State representatives have introduced bills to repeal state taxes on precious metals, because when you do that, you are acknowledging precious metals as money. 42 states have introduced legislation, and some have passed legislation as of February the 5th, 2022, to repeal state taxes from precious metals, which essentially acknowledges, precious metals as money. It's easier to work with the devil that you know rather than the devil you don't. Precious metals have no idea. I'm sorry. have no idea about metals, and it's scary. It's scary that people don't know about precious metals. So we're educating them, right? The IQD will be gold and commodities back. Yes, yes. So what we're talking about, Texas Dad, is that yes, absolutely, absolutely. The IQD, the Iraqi dinar, will be backed by precious metals and other commodities. This is why I keep saying that the $3.48 rate on the dinar is low. It's going to be much higher, most closer to $100, between $100 and $150. I noticed from my mentors who have taught me about all this. So yeah, it's 348 right now, and it'll be higher. Don't waste your breath on fools, for they will despise the wise. Ooh, thank you for that advice. So when the 42 states, excuse me, as of February the 5th, 2022, have introduced and or passed legislation, family, to repeal state taxes, which again acknowledges precious metals as money. We can usher that in sooner if we desire. You can either pressure your state representatives to push forward those bills and pass them, or be better than that, you could just start operating as lawful people, as sovereign people, by trading with silver and gold, like Dr. Kia Pruitt does, by tipping people with silver, like Dr. Kia Pruitt does. We have that power, family. We really do. We're not slaves. We're not citizens. We're sovereign. And sovereign people use sovereign money, which is gold and silver. So I know I shouldn't worry about that, but it really, really, one or two comments, I was like, okay, I just let it go. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But then, I was like, oh my God, this is starting to be like a trend on this one video about precious metals. Why are people so angry that I'm saying, no, I didn't hear that the housing market crashed yesterday, but thank you for that. But what I do know is every bubble must burst. And we've been saying that. We've been saying that the housing market is going to crash, the stock market is going to crash. We always bring information that a lot of people don't know, because by the time they catch up, it's already happened. It's already happened. Yes, I said the dinar will be actually closer to $100. The rate will, because you have to consider all the commodities that will back the Iraqi dinar: gold, silver, oil, all the resources that they have. And then all of the currencies will be 1-to-1, because they will revalue based on the resources that each country has. So yes, thank you. I want to keep doing what I'm doing. Thank you so much, family, for when you get so attacked, it means you are dead on target. Thank you, Ragamuffin. Thank you so much. I mean, because I was thinking, if I'm incorrect, then I really don't mind being corrected. And I always say, speak your truth. Speak your truth, even if you're wrong, because it's your truth and it's real to you and it means something to you. And then stand corrected when somebody corrects you. So thank you for saying I'm doing a great job, Cindy. That's a target. So again, by putting taxes on precious metals, the states were essentially not acknowledging precious metals as silver and gold. They were saying it's not money, but they were in error and they were going against the Constitution. Now, what should happen is people should be arrested. I agree. So some people actually behind the scenes are being arrested. But when I'm saying it was such an egregious attack on our freedom to do that, that they should be arrested in public, so that Dr. Kia Pruitt don't look like a fool. Gold and silver are lawful money, and we are on a gold standard. The Republic of America. You sent me Boulevard chart email. Thank you so much. We love the truth. You're welcome. Please ignore the trolls. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. My voice is getting big, so they're sending the trolls after me. You know what? That's a good point. So removing the tax off lawful money make people become more aware, and then it gives people the opportunity to now use gold and silver as money. But a lot of people just didn't know. So you have to go through certain processes and procedures. So what's happening right now is, while they have us focusing on what's going on in Hollywood, what's going on with police shootings behind the scenes, they are going through legal and lawful processes, I would say legal processes, to bring back gold and silver as money by repealing state taxes. So I say legal processes and not lawful processes, because the law already mandated gold and silver as money. The Republic, America, is already on a gold standard. These senators and representatives are going through a legal process for the people, okay, who are accustomed to the system, to wake up and realize that it's always been used as gold and money. But when you're a slave and or a citizen, you have to help the slaves and the citizens along to understand legalities by actually introducing bills and passing bills, and going through processes and procedures to let the people go, to let the citizens go, to free them. Hit the new black check. So please ignore the trolls and they will go away. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. So yeah, I just wanted to say, like, I really did study about this, family. I really did look into this deeply, and I put the articles in the description section to show you that 42 states have now either introduced bills or passed them to repeal state taxes on gold and silver, which then releases gold and silver to be used as money. Because like Beach Nut said, we were all brainwashed. Hi, Canada. Hi. We were all brainwashed, but we're free now. And if you desire to, you don't have to wait to these legislations to pass. You can actually start trading with gold and silver now. Donald Trump, again, he accepted 32 ounces of gold from Apmex Precious Metals Company for renting his space out. Donald Trump, he didn't have to pay taxes because he knows he's sovereign, because he operates in the private. There are people right now who operate in the private. They don't have driver's license because citizens, slaves do. They don't have driver's license. No, and they're left alone. There are people right now, and I'm not talking about the sovereign citizens, because you can't be sovereign and a citizen at the same time. You're either sovereign or you're citizen. You're either free, sovereign, or a citizen, a slave. When we say I consent to these United States Incorporated laws and their fake money, we're saying I consent to being your slave. I'm guilty too. I did the same thing. There are sovereign people right now who've never paid taxes, never went to jail, because paying taxes is actually a voluntary act, because the IRS is an unlawful corporate entity. The police department, an unlawful corporate entity. The FBI, the IRS, the CPS, the CIA, all unlawful. All part of the United States corporation, which is why when Pope Francis wrote that letter to Obama called Motu Proprio on July 4th, 2014, he said everything must cease and desist. Even lawyers and judges got to stop, because they are beholden to the British Crown. That's why they have to pass the bar exam, the British Accredited Registry. They work for the Queen. He said, it's over for all of us. It's over. Everybody has to cease and desist, and if we do not, we will be arrested, he said. And he said General Ham was chosen to lead the Grand Army of the Republic to take down the deep state, to take down the United States Incorporated and all those entities that are connected with it, period. And somebody just said. So somebody said, make sure you get the certificate of authenticity. Nader was singing today. Oh, the dinar is done. Look, when I'm trying to tell y'all, we are on the gold standard. People just don't know it. It's happened behind the scenes, okay? All of these currencies are revaluing at the same time. The dinar is in the news because people focused on the dinar because that's all they knew about. They didn't know about the Vietnamese dong, the Venezuelan bolivar. They didn't know about the Indonesian rupee, the Zimbabwean zim. They focused on the dinar. So you had a whole dinar community with dinar gurus that were only talking about dinar, RV, revalue. But they wouldn't talk about how the republics all over the world had to be restored first, because they didn't know that. They didn't know that you had to wait till everybody returned to the gold standard That's why it didn't happen tomorrow, the next day, tomorrow, like people, the gurus kept prophesying it would, because they didn't understand the mission. They didn't understand why Donald Trump, you're welcome, was selected to take down the deep state. So the deep state had to be taken down first. There had to be a return to the gold standard, and then currencies would revalue or return to their natural value. But in fact, it would not only return to its natural value, blessings to you too, but the value would increase based on the currencies based on the resources that each country has. So all of these currencies are revaluing at the same time. Iraq is only in the news now because that's what people, thank you, Lonnie, that's what people are focusing on. That's what they know about. Wait till we hear about the Vietnamese dong revaluing. Wait till we hear about the Venezuelan currency, Bolivar, the Zimbabwean Zim. But we should have all known that it revalued the time at the same time that they repatriated their gold back to themselves. As a matter of fact, I was talking about in 2017 and 2018 that all the countries would return to the gold standard. I look like a nut. It wasn't until like 2021, 2022, something was finally published in mainstream media about Project Sandman, whereby it says 100 plus nations agreed to the return to the gold standard. And I've been saying for a long time, it's 200. It's all 209. It's all the countries have agreed behind the scenes to return to the gold standard. I've been saying that all these currencies would revalue, and we're seeing it happen. I put article after article out in 2018 up to the present about how Zimbabwe said they were going to the gold standard. They actually said in 2018, we're moving to the gold standard. Zimbabwe did that. China did the same. I still have those articles. I've put them in one of the videos, I think I want to say earlier this week. They said it in 2018. People just now learned that Putin was going to the gold standard and had dropped the USD. He made that statement in 2018 that he was going to do that. He made that statement that he had returned to the gold standard. I announced it back then and brought forth the article. So by the time I say something, you can believe and know that I've done due diligence. However, if people desire to know for themselves, then all you have to do is read articles, research. Look at that article that says 42 states have repealed, have introduced and or passed legislation to repeal state taxes. The same article would tell you that removing the state tax acknowledges that silver and gold are money, and it frees people up to use it as lawful money. Then in that article, it says that there are 8 or 9 states that have not done that. So what I did for you in that last video that I went live on earlier, I listed all of those states that the article said did not have any type of legislation. And I actually took the time to dig into each of those states. And I found out that 6 of those 8 states now do indeed, because that article was published in 2022. From February 2022 all the way up to now, what are we, February 2023, we have more states that have introduced and or passed legislations to repeal state taxes on precious metals. And I took the time to tell you what those states were. And I said there were only 2. I think it was Vermont and maybe New Mexico. I can't remember the second one. That I could not find any bills that have been introduced and or passed yet. But that doesn't mean it didn't happen behind the scenes. So I just wanted to say that, family. Thank you for letting me get that out, because I work hard. I do. I work hard to look for many sources to prove my claim, to support my assertions. And I read them thoroughly, and I try to get the best understanding overstanding that I can. Thank you. Hi, thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, Paul. I'm not an attorney, so I may not understand or overstand some of the legal terminologies or verbiage. So I do the best that I can. So if there's anybody that can correct me and show me where I'm in error, I appreciate it, because I do take instructions. I am teachable. Okay. I am moldable. Trust me, I really am. I'm an American state national and I operate as a sovereign. Thank you, LP. You're welcome, Sherry. Will you please tell people I'm not lying that there are people that really operate as sovereign beings here on the United States terrain? People really do. Again, Donald Trump received 32 ounces of gold from Apmex for leasing out his space. There was a man in Cleveland who bought a home. These are just two examples that I know. I give a receipt at the exchange, but oh, you're talking to each other. Thank you, LP. Oh my God, thank you so much. There was a man that lived in my home state, my home city in Cleveland, who bought a home. I'll say it again, with gold. Nobody was allowed in his community. Dr. Alahim Bey. Oh, thank you. Forgive them, for they don't know what they're doing. That's right. Father, forgive us, for we know not what we do. Thank you so much. I needed that. Nobody could park in his area. Nobody could come in his space. Nobody could come near his street. They couldn't fly over his house. I thought that was amazing. They, you know how you can buy a home, they can still drill and do certain things in some parts of your property. For one, you don't own the allodial title, the true title of the space. So that's why. But this man who bought his home with gold, obviously he must have had the allodial title. Even the government would not tread upon his land. So this is real, family. The republic is still operating, and people who know their sovereign rights and understand and overstand how the republic operates, and they understand and overstand the law, the constitutional law, the law of the land, abide by those laws, and they are not bothered by the United States corporation or their policy enforcers, also known as police officers. So police officers will be retrained, and actually the Pope said they had to cease and desist. The lawyers and judges will have to cease and desist and or be retrained in constitutional law. All the stuff that you see before you, all these corporate entities, they will have to cease and desist. We are a republic. We are on a gold standard, and we can live and move as such if we just use our knowledge, our information, and our courage to do it. So I'm about to sign off here. I am so hungry. I haven't eaten all day. I've been researching all day. When I tell you I research from the time I wake up, then I'll do some things that I have to do. I research throughout the day. I research in the evening because it's my passion. It's what I was called to do. It's what I love to do. It's what I was born to do. And sometimes I do not eat. Sometimes I forget to eat. So I want to find some food. I can't see any more of your comments, so I don't know. Let me turn this upside down to see. Oops, no, rotate it. I can't see if you all are still commenting because I don't see any comments anymore. So I'm not able to address any of your questions if you're asking questions. So again, I just came on to tell you that the America is on the gold standard. Okay. The republic was operating at the same time as the corporation, but the corporation has been demolished and deconstructed. It actually is a bankrupt entity that no longer exists. You have actors pretending they're trying to prop up the system. But the moment we wake up and we say, I do not consent, and we actually start living and acting as sovereign beings and decentralize our lives, decentralize our money, decentralize our food, then we will know that Dr. Pruitt is telling the truth. For real, we will know that we're sovereign. So let's operate as sovereign beings. Sov meaning over, reign meaning having rule over your own life, and live as the free people or free beings that we are. So that's it for tonight, family. I'm so hungry. This is Dr. Kia Pruitt signing off. My name is Dr. Kia Pruitt. I hope I've said something to raise your vibrations, even though my vibrations, I was struggling a little bit. I needed some strength, some scrimph, as they say. I needed some scrimph from my people, from my soul family. So thank you for coming on and entertaining me and showing me the love and showing me encouragement, because it did kind of feel like trolls were being sent after me, like comment after comment was so negative. I was like, sometimes I try not to remove it because it's freedom of speech, but it was getting to the point where it was just too much. So I just decided to block people. I love you. I do my best to bring you great news that will inspire you to create and manifest the most amazing, magnificent life that you desire and deserve. Peace, family. I'm out. I love you. Bye bye.